Bigger, better, stronger, power. I got that power.
Hello, Nashville Software School students. This time we're going to talk about event handlers. So, we've got a DOM page on our left, we've got some JavaScript on our right, and I'm going to show you some very basic handlers, and then we're going to grow and show you some more complex handlers and really see how to start building a modern, responsive, single-page application, which, listening to event listeners, is the underpinnings of it. So, first I'm going to show you how to listen to a click event. So here in my JavaScript, I've got some starting code where I'm just getting a DOM reference to an output element. So anytime I want to give feedback to the user, I'm going to add stuff to the DOM inside this output element, which just so happens to be this div right here, this output target. That's where I'm going to give all my feedback to the user. So I'm going to start you off with a very basic event listener, and we're going to listen for the click on this H1 tag right here. Okay? So adding an event listener is pretty darn simple. So since this element has an ID, we're just going to use our ability to get an element by its ID. Okay, I'm going to pass in, what do I call it? Page-title. All right, so that just gets the DOM reference. Now we want to add an event listener. We can just chain it right on here. Add event listener. All right, now in the add event listener method, okay, you invoke it just like any other function, open and close parentheses. This takes two arguments. The first argument takes, bump this over a little bit because this line is going to get a little long. Okay, first off is the name of the event that we want to listen to. Now it provides some very simplistic shortcuts for it. So in strings, okay, this is a string of the name of the event. It's actually called click. Okay, I want to listen to the click event. So when the user is navigating around the browser and they use their mouse and it's hovered right over that page title and they click their mouse button, what the browser does is it broadcasts an event. It broadcasts a mouse event, actually, because that's what the mouse is. It's a mouse click. Okay, so it broadcasts that event. So here in our JavaScript, right here where I'm typing, I'm saying to the browser, I want to listen to that event. When it happens, do something. Okay, so the do something is the second argument to this add event listener. And that's simply a function. I'm just going to write it in line here. Okay, do something when this click event is broadcast on the page title element. So the browser says, okay, you've now registered this event listener with me. I will execute your function when I broadcast that click event. And by the way, I'm going to send you the event as input to your function. As I've said previously, if a function gets input, we need to define an argument. Let's define an argument. The browser sends the event. So I'm just going to call the argument event. Okay? So let's put in some logic. To begin with, I'm just going to log it. Let's see what this event is. Okay, I've already got it loaded up over here. So this page title right here is right where I put my event listener. When I click on that, again, the browser broadcasts a mouse event. We capture it through a string called click. Okay, that's what it is. So there, I clicked on it. And look at that, our code ran. You can see right there, there's the event. Let's get back to our code. All right. That's what the browser sent to us right there in that input to our function. It sent us the event. So we had to write the handler. I'm logging it out, and there it is. You can see it's called a mouse event. An event actually has a lot of information on it, starting off with client X and client Y here. Okay, the browser is telling you exactly where the mouse was, given XY coordinates, when that mouse event got broadcast. And we've got these important things down right here. There's the target. This one is going to be very important as you learn and implement event listeners. Target is key. So the target is what element the user actually clicked on. You'll see, and there it is, H1, an ID of page title. And we can actually get property, the inner HTML, okay, all the stuff that deals with that target element. What the user actually interacted with is the target property on this event. So let's log that, event.target. Let's look at that instead of the whole event. So reload my page, click on it again. Look at that. There is my DOM reference right there. That's that h1 tag. We'll go back and look at it. There it is. It matches 1-to-1 in h1 of the page title. Now we also saw that there was an inner HTML element because it is a DOM reference, so we can always look at inner HTML. Let's log that. There it is, page title. That's the actual characters that I typed between the h1 and the closing h1 tag. So I'm going to output this back to the user. So I've got a reference up here to this output element. So instead of console logging it, I'm going to send the user a message. Output element, I'm going to set its inner HTML equal to you clicked on the heading of, or how about this? The heading, all right. So see that work? Look at that. I updated my DOM. You clicked on the heading page title. So I added an event listener. I told it which event I want to listen for. I gave it a function reference of what to execute when that event is broadcast. I defined an argument to accept the input because the browser is going to send the event to our function. And I simply look inside event.target. That's the property that holds the DOM element that was clicked on. I'm reading the inner HTML of it, and I'm simply building up this string, this ES6 string, and outputting it back to the user saying, that's what you clicked on. All right, so this is a very basic event listener, how to look at the target element, which is what the user clicked on. That is a DOM reference. You can look at any one of those properties. For example, before I end here, instead of looking at inner HTML, let's look at the ID attribute of an h1 tag. You clicked on the heading with an ID of, there it is. That's the page title. That's the ID of that h1. Boom, page title. So beginnings of event listeners. Next video is going to show you a little bit more advanced usage of it, but you can watch this one over and over again if you just want to kind of practice on adding a simple click event listener to your DOM. Talk to you later.